I'm almost 3 years into my climbing journey, and my sport grade has seen consistent progression, my best red point on rock being 7B or 512B. However, my bouldering has not enjoyed the same gains. I've struggled with many aspects of bouldering outdoors, topping out, bad landings, and general strategy for projecting hard blocks. So in this episode, we aim to fix just that, and see if I can unlock the next step for my bouldering. To help me, I've brought in one of the best, Dave Macleod, V15 boulderer, 9A sport climber, and the first person ever to climb E11. So, how do you work boulders that are on your limit?
You were talking about confidence with being at height in bouldering as being a bit of a limiting factor. 100%. And that's so interesting because in the past few years, more and more people have asked me about that. I've actually had people saying, you know, in my videos, they say, like, you look like you're out on your own bouldering, and, like, you know, how do you deal with that from a safety point of view? And at first I was sort of scratching my head, like, so what do you mean? Like, I wouldn't even, I guess it made me realise how automatic I now think it is that I find bouldering here really safe. I would never worry about safety.
I really don't understand how you could possibly think it's safer than, like if you fall, you're going to hit the ground.
You're going
to
hit the ground, yeah. But I mean, I almost never take an uncontrolled. I take thousands of falls all the time in bouldering, but almost never take an uncontrolled fall. So to me, it's like, it made me realise that safety and confidence in bouldering is so much about tactics, and it made me think, wow, a lot of people must not know what those tactics are.
I've got no idea what they are.
Yeah, so
enlighten me.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, when I first started bouldering, I did feel scared at height, for sure, and I had a few nasty falls where you tumble on rocks and things like that, and well, before I had mats anyway. But these days, I don't ever get scared bouldering, because I never just get myself into a situation where I'm at height and I don't know what I'm doing at all. I've always spent a lot of time looking at the holes from the ground, looking at the holes from the top of the boulder, and practicing moves from the ground up. And I'm only ever going like one move higher at a time. And if I get out of my depth, I don't go any higher. I jump back down to the ground or down climb and then figure it out some more. And so I take it attempt by attempt and go from there, really. There's really two hazards. There's the height you're climbing. So you get to a point where you get too high to safely fall off. And then there's the quality of the landing. With the landing, you can pad it out as best you can, and you always should. I think always bring the biggest number of mats that you possibly can, and get your landing well sorted, and think carefully about which direction you're going to fall. And a lot of people are just not that organised with, like, they'll fall off and miss the mats, but then not move them. Yeah. You know, like, make sure you get all that stuff right. The general goal, I think, is to eliminate unknowns one by one until the size of a number of the unknowns you have of a boulder you're trying just gets smaller and smaller. So you practicing moves from the ground up, so that the number of moves that you don't know as you get higher up the boulder is just getting smaller. You go walk round to the top of the boulder, lean over the top, see, like, look down, and you often will see more.
It's a long way down.
Figure out the top out, make sure the holes on the top out are clean, maybe chalk them, maybe mark them. And all of that just means that the bits that you're feeling uncertain and scared about, because fear generally comes from uncertainty, it's just smaller and more manageable. And then the down climbing part allows you to go a little bit higher, knowing that if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you're just going to fall. You can always come back down to a point you can safely jump off or down climb all the way down. So I could come down.
Yeah, you could come down
to here and jump.
Yep.
That would be fine. I could actually even probably reverse a bit more and jump. Like, the footwork's quite tricky, but I could just jump my foot back down to that.
Yeah.
So I'm totally happy jumping down from here, no problem. So all of that just means that the part of the boulder where you're too high to fall, but you might fall, just gets squeezed to the point where it becomes maybe nothing at all, and then you just feel comfortable.
So you think bouldering, outdoor bouldering, can be made acceptably safe?
Absolutely, it can be made acceptably safe, yeah. Just good matting, good tactics, sussing out the moves, reducing the uncertainties, and just that's the way forward. You don't need to be super bold or headstrong, you just need to have your tactics sorted.
And is this something you do on hard stuff as well?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Especially on hard stuff. So yeah, you've got 2 holes there. I mean, that's still in cut, and that's reasonable, but then you can reach straight to that.
Yep.
Because when you're leaning over the top like that,
That'll be bomber.
that'll feel pretty good, yeah.
So right foot, then left foot. Yep. That's it. Yep.
Come on, Mike.
Good, get this thumb on. Now left foot to there,
Comfy, man. Really good.
out to the jug. Good.
Oh shit.
Here, lift it. That's it.
Middle of this hold. Mega good. Yeah, good.
Is that the left hand one? The middle one's the best, that's it. Yeah, and then go straight to the next jug.
So weird.
Oh. You guys will probably notice that I am almost always, climbing in the same pair of trousers. So Rungney are going to give away 3 pairs of these. So Rungney asked me what my favourite Rungney product is aside from the chalk, and it's 100% these trousers. I've got all 3 colours, which is raw umber, moon mist and dark grey, and they're so good that I even have the high baller shorts as well, because when it's a bit hotter, I love to wear these. So 3 people from the first 500 who sign up with their email using the link down below will get a free pair of the Rungney high baller trousers. And if you don't win the trousers, don't worry, you can still get 10% off any Rungney product on their website using the code MikeBoyd. So if the shorts are your vibe, or you just want to save 10% on any Rungney apparel and the chalk, definitely check out the chalk if you haven't already, use the code MikeBoyd. These are the Rungney high baller pants, my favourite trousers by Rungney. They're the hardware and cotton ones. These are the ones with the super stretchy waistband and the integrated belt that you can just tighten up, and they are immensely comfortable. I've had this particular pair of trousers for 2 years now. I wear them almost every day and they are still holding up, and I put these through a lot. Scrambling, hiking in, scraping them off boulders. These are really, really durable. But the best thing is they are really good for climbing in, obviously, but they're not like typical garish climbing trousers. You can actually wear these in the real world and not look like a total pleb. So sign up with the link down below, enter your email address for a chance to win a pair of the Rungney high baller trousers, which I wear all the time, and use code MikeBoyd at checkout to get 10% off. Thanks very much to Rungney for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to it.
At the Ruthven Boulders, there's this amazing 6C called the Dude, and it's like just steep, positive climbing, but it all centres around one crux move, which is, it's kind of an awkward rightwards jump lunge, kind of board style problem really. And it's hard to generate enough momentum rightwards to actually land the hold, so it's all about getting the height for the hold. So tactically, the next stage is just to do the crux move, and then that tells you the boulder is possible. And then after that, you want to work on the top part of the boulder, because you don't want to then start from the very start, do all the link through the start, through the crux, and then fall off the top, which is easier. Better to do that in isolation, do that half of the boulder. And then if you do get to a stage where you do the lower part, you do the crux, then you've got that bit of confidence, I can do this, I can top out. And so the final ascent becomes more about execution, and you're not like, oh my God, how's this going to work? When you're there, doesn't it? Ah, you are. That's it. Oh. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good.
No, I can't go left.
Oh, that's the best one yet.
Yeah.
And you know, Mike was doing really well on it. He's getting very, very close to the move, where that way where you just need that extra centimetre, and that's where the details in the beta really, really matter. You have to get all the tactics lined up. So you usually go through this process, which he had really quite sussed actually, which is first of all get the basics, like what are the handholds you're using? Can I actually, you know, reach the hold, blah, blah, blah. And then it's on to the details of which footholds to use. That was the key thing. So we spent a lot of time doing that, and eventually, after trying several different options, which were all feasible, sort of narrowed down the one that seemed best, and that's enough to get close. And that's often where you end up with projects, where once you've ironed out all the sequence, you're close, but you're not there yet. And then you need all the other little tactics on top of that to get you that last bit. And I think that's where there's the next kind of frontier, the next layer that Mike needs to get. One of the big things is just resting properly. Oh, that was the best one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dropped down there. You get up there.
Yeah, I think I'll get it. I'll get it this. Yeah. Just need to be a bit more forceful.
Come on.
Oh yeah,
get it.
yeah.
I can get it.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. Just about had the height there.
Yeah.
It's just a wee bit more to
More
the right.
to the right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why that left foot's so critical. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
So push off that again. Okay. Right, big push off the left. I concentrated on the right there.
Well, he was just having like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. At one point, I think we got down to about a 2-second rest between attempts, and you're definitely not going to be able to reproduce a very high level effort in that time. Mike definitely needs to tighten that up and give himself a proper rest between attempts, just to make sure the attempts are high quality. Because if you're very close to a move and you only need that little bit more, if you only take 30 seconds or a minute's rest between your goes, there's no way you can produce your maximum power after less than a minute's rest. It's like 1 to 3 minutes, and that's only for doing one move. If you're doing like a link of several moves up to a crux, you would need more than that. You'd maybe need like 10 minutes. I've actually got a traverse on this boulder, which is 40 metres long, and when I was having attempts on this, I was taking more than an hour's rest in between. So once you're close and you need to get on the light over the line, every attempt needs to be high quality. So you need everything working for you. And I think if Mike susses that out, he'll be able to squeeze out an extra grade with the strength level he already has. It's totally normal to get excited. I get excited and I try things and have quite a high work rate, but I usually have quite a high work rate when I'm training. And that's okay, you work yourself a bit harder and you're kind of thrashing yourself a little bit. But when you're performing here on the rock, on a real project, that's all about being tactical. And that's when just holding back and actually saving up your psych for the next try makes that next try that bit better. That's what you want.
Yes, Dave! That's it, yeah.
Nice.
Lovely.
I think Mike's advanced a lot in his climbing in the last year, especially with footwork. You can see that the precision with his footwork is much better. I think it still has a way to go, especially with the angling of his feet on certain holds, like the timing of when to toe in, when to drop the heel, when to turn the foot on its side. And even some of the precision still is not perfect, but it's way more consistent than it was a year ago, and that shows in the grades that he's climbing. You can see it if you just watch through someone's progression. So if you watch Mike's YouTube channel over the past year, you can almost see it in every video, and I think to me that's testament to the fact that Mike has spent a lot of time learning how to learn skills in general. I think if you're good at that process of experimenting with something, being in that mode where your brain is open to noticing details, like noticing the errors, and also being open to having input and help from other people and saying, what am I doing wrong? What could I improve? And that helps to home you in very quickly on the weak areas.
Okay.
All of those things have helped. I think Mike could turbocharge it with just a much higher volume of climbing, especially outdoors. If outdoors is the goal, if you're counting the number of problems you've done in the tens or even the hundreds, you're definitely leaving improvement on the table. You need to count the number of problems you've done in the thousands.
So I need to get on rock.
On rock, a lot more, because you've got all these tiny crystals that are actually quite like that. That's a good foothold. if you know how to use your feet well on rock. It's just not the same as climbing on plastic. Climbing indoors can be very technical at a high level, but it's just technical in a different way. So rock is its own medium. There's no shortcutting learning climbing skill. It takes thousands and thousands of routes. And every good climber in the world who's reached a high level has done that apprenticeship. I don't think there's any exceptions.
I spent 2 sessions learning from Dave, watching his approach and working on some hard boulders, and I took home an abundance of knowledge about how best to apply my time when working limit boulders. I didn't get any hard sends on this trip, but I wondered if this new approach with some real strategy and process would help me finally get to my equivalent indoor bouldering grade of V6 or so on real rock.
We're at a crag called Weem. I've been here before, I've done a video here. I love this place. We're here for the bouldering today. Me and James actually just got shut down on this 5+. None of us were able to do it. So as usual with this channel, we decided to go straight to 7A, which starts in here. And I love steep stuff. So I think it starts like that. Weem. And very steep climbing onto this hold here and up. And it looks like the start is actually the steep bit. I think it's actually the easy bit. And I think it's getting out here onto this hold here and moving across and getting the feet over. I just think it seems like my sort of climb.
In this session, I really tried to apply what I'd learned from Dave as much as I possibly could. So first of all, let's reduce the unknowns. The landing here is easily padded out. It shouldn't be a problem, it's pretty flat.
So I'm feeling incredibly chilled on this boulder because the landing's just so good. Like we're on a tiny bit of a slope, but really there's nothing to worry about here. And we've got loads of pads and it goes straight up. So you don't even need a spotter. Like, there's just no way I'm gonna miss that pad. So like I'm not feeling any anxiety here, which means I'm able to climb hard. Like I'm able to climb at my limit.
Next, let's make sure the top is clean and has some holds so I can get over. I walked around to the top of the boulder to check it out.
Okay, this is the top out for the boulder, and it is a little bit higher than I thought it was actually, or it looks higher from this position. Obviously you're climbing over this, so it's going to feel a bit higher. But someone's actually cleaned the top of this. Like this is how it would be if people hadn't brushed it. But someone's actually brushed this, so it's super grippy. And what I was looking for was, when I get to this point, I think I'm going to be here, whether I can throw up for this ledge. I just didn't know if it was like slopey or if it was dirty or, you know, crossley, but it's absolutely bomber. So where my foot is right now, see if I can move it, is chalky and has got a little point to it. And that feels absolutely bomber. Like I would throw for that quite happily. You've also got the jug here, which is kind of in front of the plant, but I feel like once you get that, there's just no way you're going to fall. And obviously this platform is massive, so you can just stand on it. So yeah, I just don't see any real issue with the top out here.
On to tactics next. First, I had to figure out where the crux actually was on this boulder.
That was proper dry fire. But then I need to flick to that, right? Then you need the heel hook. Oh, the heel hook. This is the problem. This guy and this guy. Because this guy's good with the left hand, but you have to get him with the right hand at some point. This guy is crap in all scenarios. He's just terrible. Like, it's like a classic blocked crimp, you know, where you just can't really get your fingers in. Once you get to here, it's all over, I think. Not actually topped out, but this is massive. That's huge. And then I went up to the top. Up there's fine.
I know that if I can do this crux, then the boulder is actually possible for me and I can start thinking about the top section more.
How did I do that? Oh, that was really sore, but I did it. Oh, I did it! But me!
Now that I know the crux is doable, I made sure I could climb the top and escape if I needed. This boulder isn't too high, so simply jumping down is fine, but down climbing is also an option here. Now it's time for attempts from the ground, and the key here is good quality attempts. So for me, I really need to rest and focus before each go. I really needed to actually try to rest. It's more difficult than it sounds.
Come on. Big time.
Oh! We're getting there. If I got that, I think I might have been in, yeah.
I think you're in from that move.
Yeah. Right, so I've learned from Dave, I am taking big rests between attempts, like huge rests. So each time I feel like I've actually got, you know, something to learn.
Give me a roll on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it full. I'll go and go. Nah, I think I'll give it one turbo. I'm too chill today. I'm not fussed.
Come on. Come on. That's it. Come on. Yeah.
Oh, what the?
Yeah.
What the? What the? That just went. That just went. Oh my days! Dispatched.
Why?
Sick. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. And the thing about it is, it's not 7A. I think it's 6C. I think it's V5. I think it's soft V5. But that's my first soft V5. That's my first V5. So I'll take the 7A though. Like, I'm taking it on UKC. Woo!
I immediately felt better projecting boulders whilst implementing Dave's advice. It's simple, immediately applicable, and makes the whole experience safer and a lot less stressful. Dave's actually made 2 videos about our trip in the Highlands on his YouTube channel, specifically about high boulders and about progression through the grades. Go check them out, they're a great watch. Hopefully you gained something from this video, As always, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.